Good evening. This is The Rundown, where headlines hit harder, stories go deeper, and the truth doesn't hide behind the noise. I'm Brian Taylor, and in the next few minutes we're cutting through the clutter to bring you what matters most: fast, clear, and unfiltered news. From power moves in politics to breakthroughs shaping our world, this isn't just the news, this is The Rundown. Before we dive in, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment. And if you're curious about the gear, books, and tools we trust, check out our top picks at the link tree in the description below. Now let's dive into the video. Good evening, I'm Brian Taylor and you're watching The Rundown. We begin tonight with major developments in the high-stakes standoff between the United States and China over trade tariffs. A clash that could reshape global economics and hit consumers right here at home. President Donald Trump is signaling a possible softening of his hardline stance against Beijing. In a Truth Social post this morning, the president suggested implementing an 80% tariff on Chinese imports, a significant decrease from the existing 145% rate that has been in effect since April. While he left the final decision to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, the message was clear: the White House is laying the groundwork for potential compromise. This weekend, top U.S. officials, among them Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer, are holding talks with Chinese Vice Premier He Lifeng in Geneva. While formal agreements are unlikely, these early-stage discussions mark what some insiders are calling a gloves-touching moment, the beginning of serious negotiations. President Trump hinted at a broader strategy. He recently announced a breakthrough trade agreement with the UK, his administration's first since implementing reciprocal tariffs earlier this spring. Trump now claims many trade deals are in the hopper, and his team says over 20 agreements are nearing completion. The trade conflict has already impacted several major industries. Wall Street bonuses are reportedly down, with IPO bankers seeing declines of up to 20%, a stark contrast to optimistic projections from just 6 months ago. Meanwhile, florists across the U.S. say this year's Mother's Day bouquets are more expensive, as tariffs on imported flowers from Colombia and Ecuador, which supply 85% of the U.S. market, drive up prices. Trump has repeatedly defended the tariffs, arguing China deserves it and will absorb the costs. But with the global economy showing signs of strain and election season heating up, there's increasing pressure for a course correction. Complicating matters, the European Union unveiled its own potential tariff list, targeting over $100 billion worth of U.S. shipments ranging from airplanes and automobiles to farm goods and healthcare supplies. If negotiations falter, the EU could retaliate as early as July. Back in Asia, China is reportedly easing its stance behind the scenes. Sources suggest Beijing has drawn up a list of U.S. products excluded from its retaliatory 125% tariffs, indicating an effort to ease tensions without seeming to yield to external demands. In a surprising twist, China's export numbers for April beat expectations, rising over 8% year-on-year, likely driven by companies rushing to ship goods before tariffs kick in. And major chipmaker TSMC reported a 48% revenue jump, fueled by global tech demand amid tariff uncertainty. As the dust settles in Geneva this weekend, the world will be watching, not just for tariffs or deals, but for signs of whether diplomacy can outpace economic brinksmanship. But not everyone is impressed. Critics on both sides of the Atlantic argue that while the deal restores some pre-Trump norms, it doesn't significantly alter the broader economic landscape. In Parliament, opposition leaders demanded clarity, with Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch accusing the UK of giving more than it gained. And Liberal Democrat leader Sir Ed Davey warned that the fine print could mask deeper concessions, calling for a full parliamentary vote. Analysts, too, remain cautious. Michael Pierce of Oxford Economics said the deal is unlikely to impact forecasts significantly, and that many details remain vague, especially on issues like pharmaceuticals, where Trump has hinted at new tariffs to bolster domestic drug production. So while this UK-US deal may offer a moment of calm in an otherwise volatile trade environment, it's clear the road ahead is still paved with questions, and tariffs may remain a favorite tool in President Trump's economic playbook. And the wave of trade shifts keeps rolling. Just days after announcing a broader US-UK trade accord, President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Keir Starmer unveiled a major update that's sending shockwaves through the auto industry. on both sides of the Atlantic. Under this new preliminary deal, the United States will reduce its tariff on British-made vehicles from a staggering 27.5% down to 10%. That's a steep drop, though still far above the near-zero rates that existed prior to April, when President Trump hiked import duties in a dramatic return to economic nationalism. British car makers, especially luxury giants like Jaguar Land Rover and Aston Martin, are breathing a cautious sigh of relief. Many had halted U.S. exports entirely last month in protest over the soaring tariffs. Jaguar Land Rover in particular paused shipments for nearly 4 weeks before restarting in May, signaling that even this limited rollback was enough to put business back in motion. But this deal comes with a cap. British car makers will be able to export up to 100,000 vehicles per year to the U.S. at the new 10% rate. Beyond that threshold, the original 27.5% tariff kicks back in, a move some experts say could dampen long-term growth, especially if demand surges. Still, the announcement marks a significant shift. The agreement also eliminates all U.S. duties on British aluminum and steel, sectors that have been under intense pressure. In fact, just last month the UK government was forced to intervene and take control of British steel to prevent its collapse. For the UK, this deal is more than just a reprieve, it's a lifeline. And for Washington, it's a signal that despite tough rhetoric, there's still room for compromise, especially with allies. Talks are still in progress, with several key details yet to be finalized. But what's clear is that this evolving trade framework is reshaping global commerce, and with it, the fortunes of workers from Birmingham to Baltimore. We'll continue tracking these developments as both nations weigh politics, economics, and strategic alliances on the global stage. You're watching The Rundown. I'm Brian Taylor, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.